I feel really fucking ugly. Seriously. And in my head, I can hear all of you saying, what's wrong with her? What's her problem? So let me try to tell you. Hi, I'm Seong-on Yoon, a Korean girl with a problem. A problem called it 외모정병. You probably haven't heard this before. It's a new term, but the idea isn't new at all. It always has existed. So let's open my 외모정병 diary together and see what it's really like. Have you heard of 꾸밈 단계? This is a slang that young Korean women often use when we are planning to meet up with friends. Here's a hint. So see if you can guess what it means. 꾸밈 단계 is a way to rate how much you plan to dress up before going out, using numbers from 1 to 5. Actually, these numbers are not official standards. They are just a casual way to match dress code. Me and my girls, the speakers, aka the hot mice, we always discuss our 꾸밈 단계 before we meet. So, this is level 1 when we are in David's class every Wednesday. This is level 5 when we go to party on Friday night. 꾸밈 단계 depends on the vibe of plans, whether we'll take a photo booth strip or whether we post our pictures on Instagram. Yeah, it's kind of thoughtful girls culture. We try to meet each other's expectation or reduce pressure. The intention is pretty sweet, right? But at the same time, it reflects the reality that we are paying attention too much to our appearance. I live in Korea and I see this everywhere. Look at this. Pretty, cute, sexy woman in K-pop, K-drama, social media, and huge beauty industry. Not only that, but also there are a lot of problems caused by lookism. In this environment, Korean women inevitably confront the topic of appearance. And yep, I was one of those women who obsessed with appearance for a long time. So today, I want to share my experience with honesty, shame, and courage. When I was in middle school, I wore braces for 2 years. And even now, I still have to use a retainer every night. The reason that I got braces wasn't medical. It was purely aesthetic. Then, were my teeth really that bad? Not at all. I have just a tiny gap between my front teeth, and fixing it, I spent a lot of time and money. Even no one else noticed it. I check my weight often. And whenever I gain even a little, I start dieting instantly. For more than 10 years, dieting has been a big part of my life. So I've lived with constant pressure to control my food and exercise. Look at me. I'm not a K-pop idol. And I've never been overweight actually. But still, when I eat more than I planned because of stress or hormones, I feel really guilty. And sometimes even I hate myself. To keep my skin clear, I follow my 7-step skincare routine and I have a lot of skincare products. And to my soft and voluminous hair, I use a anti-hair loose shampoo, high protein treatment, hair cream, oil, mist, essence, and masks. Every week, I trim my nail to perfect shape and length. I use a nail essence, nail oil, and nail vitamin. And also, for whiter teeth, I use a whitening toothpaste and strip. I know, it's hard to believe, but we are the same person. Doing my makeup, it takes almost 2 hours. Let's check it. Eyebrows, two types of eyeliners, eyeshadows, lashes, mascara, 애교살 stick. Only just for this amazing, beautiful eye makeup, 50 minutes gone. Primer, concealer, foundation. If my skins break out, I really want to cancel my plans. Contouring, highlighter, blush, lip liner, lip tint, lipstick, lip oil. It takes everything. A lot of cosmetics, time, and my energy. For me and my friends, these are just a part of our everyday lives. But some people might think that's too much, and the other people think that's not enough. Then here's the question. All of these are just a self-care, or is it an obsession with appearance? Well, normally I like how I look. So every time I take a selfies and post them on my Instagram. So my Insta stories are just me, me, and me. Looks like a narcissism. But then suddenly, I really, really feel ugly. Seriously. In that moment, I feel like I have to lose more weight and have to fix something on my face. Today, Korean women call this 외모정병. This is the Korean slang, so there is no perfect English word. But if I translate it as directly as possible, it means a mental disorder triggered by appearance. Even when it's not that serious, maybe we just found a flaw or feel unhappy with our appearance, we can casually say, my 외모장병 has come. For me, 외모장병 comes back regularly, almost like my period cycle. And I know many Korean women feel the same. If someone asked me to describe Korean society in a single sentence, I would say Korea is a society suffering from a severe 외모장병. I know it's a pretty bitter truth, but if we want to make this world a better place, we have to face the problem and talk about it honestly. So, where does this 외모장병 come from? It didn't suddenly appear out of nowhere. It's naturally, almost inevitably, grew out of our daily life. I've thought about this question for a few years, and I realized it doesn't come from bad intention or extreme situation. 외모장병 just come from the most ordinary parts of our everyday lives. So let me explain this from three parts: culture, language, and media. First, culture. We casually comment on appearance every day. It comes from kindness, not any bad intention. You look tired. Are you okay? Oh, your lips are so colorless today. Are you sick? It's also a part of complimenting or greeting. Oh my God, girl, why did you get so pretty lately? Oh, wow, you lost a lot of weight. And also, it's a classic love neck that K moms give to their daughters. Honey, you'd look prettier if you lost just a little more weight. When I go out barefaced, honey, put on some makeup. When I do my makeup, honey, your makeup is too much. Yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing, but me and my mom used to fight a lot because of this. Second, language. Korean has countless terms to describe faces. For instance, when we describe face type as puffy face versus cat face or tofu face versus Arab face, we casually use these words and yeah, it's really normal. And also, there are endless slangs about faces. 성괴 is the most oldest and classic one. It's short for plastic surgery monster, used to insert someone who looks, too plastic. Another popular slang these days for Korean women is 얼태기. A mix of face and boredom in relationship means being sick of my own face. 중앙부 정병 is one of a new social media trend, means an obsession with the middle part of face or worrying that it looks too long. And these are daily words, 존못, 존예, 존잘, and I'm really sorry, but it literally means fucking ugly, fucking pretty, fucking handsome. Third, media. Korean girls grew up learning beauty from K-pop. Have you ever seen a female K-pop idol who isn't underweight? Even like an idol, Ningning, Lizi, Jiu, who already normal or underweight were always constantly attacked with comments like, she's so fat, she lacks self-care, she's unprofessional as an idol. It's ridiculous. And only after they lost even more weight did public start praising them. Every Korean girls grow up with K-pop. So naturally, we internalize this culture and apply the same standard to ourselves and others. Even K-drama reinforced the unrealistic beauty standards. Any high-teen K-drama has never shown teenagers' acne honestly. Teen actress or actress playing teen always appear with perfectly covered skin using no makeup. Think about these words: personal, diagnosis, consulting. You probably imagine something highly professional, right? These are exactly things that young Korean women obsess with these days. Personal color, body type diagnosis, hairstyle consulting. Personal color is a beauty theory of finding the color palettes that looks best on you. It's divided, first, it's divided to warm tone versus cool tone, and then into spring type, summer type, autumn type, winter type. Personal color is as popular as MBTI in Korea. And even we have a slang for looking bad because you wore the wrong color, 톤그로. Body type diagnosis classify your body shape as straight type, wave type, natural type to determine which clothing cuts and fabric looks best on you. Hairstyle consulting evaluates your face shape, head shape, and hair condition to recommend the most suitable haircut, perm, and dye. Why are these trends are so popular in Korea? Well, I think it's because we care less about what I like and much more about what suits me. Double eyelid surgery is one of the common surgery in Korea. It's too common now, so most people say, come on, double eyelid surgery is basically the default. Some of my university friends get a Botox, fillers, and lifting treatments. It has become completely normal for regular students like me to get this cosmetic procedure. There are also a lot of semi-permanent makeup, like eyebrows tattoo, eyeliner tattoo, 애교살 tattoo, lip tattoo. Oh, and additionally, 애교살 means this fatty part under eyes, like this part. It makes you look more cute and younger. There are trending procedure like philtrum reduction here and alveolar filler, like make your ears more sharp and more a little bit big. They are aimed to shorten the middle part of face, and yep, they're born from 중앙부 정병 that I mentioned before. Oh, I really hate this page. I really hate to bring this up, but in Korea, there is a laser whitening treatment for nipples and vagina area. Even in this commercial, they said a pink colored vagina is pure and clean, but also sexy. This ridiculously white beauty industry shows just how 외모장병 deeply is rooted in our society. Come on, like, vagina is just vagina, nipples is just nipples. We don't care about colors, but oh, I'm sorry, it always make me super annoying. For Korean women, there are two different standards of weight. 표준 체중 is the medically recommended weight, and the other one is 미용 체중, the aesthetic target weight. I'm 160 centimeter and 51 kilograms currently. So according to this chart, to reach the pretty weight by Korean beauty standards, I have to lose, 3.6 kilograms more. As this mindset has become extreme, slang like 뼈말라 has become popular. It means being so skinny that your bones shows. It's linked to pro-anorexia culture. People who glamorize anorexia and idolize extreme thinness. This trend has become popular among teenage girls, and it has become a serious social issue these days. Even worse, 외모장병 has reached little girls. Oh, last summer, I went to Olivion and to buy a sunscreen, and something shocked me. A little girl was testing a concealer shade on her skin, but her skin was literally baby skin. I mean, no acne, no eye bags, no pores, no wrinkles. There was nothing to hide. And she looks too young, so I asked her age, and she said, I'm 10. 10-year-old girl is on at age when the world should be full of things more fun than makeup. But her focus was hiding imperfection that didn't even exist. It truly broke my heart and made me realize 외모장병 isn't just a trivial issue. And that girl led me to stand here today and talk about this issue. And that girl in Olivion also reminds me when I was a little girl too. When I felt stressed or obsessed with my appearance, I thought, It's just because I'm not pretty enough. But after coming to university, studying about media, culture, industry, language, and ideology, I realized my 외모정병 was not just a personal issue. Then, how can we break free from 외모정병 together? Okay, let's be honest. I don't think we can completely change the beauty standard that are so deeply rooted in our society. But instead, what if we diversity those strict beauty standards? What if we stop commenting on people's look even with a good intention? What if our compliments focus on what truly matters, like kindness, creativity, courage, rather than appearance? And what if we consciously stop using appearance related slang? I know, I know everything that I'm saying sounds so cliche. And I know change is never easy. But if we try this together, I truly believe we can break free from 외모정병. Oh, it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing that I've to admit that I've gone through all of it myself. I pushed my body with extreme diet just to become 뼈말라. I was under so much pressure about my appearance that I used to hate myself. I wasted a lot of money buying cosmetic products. And I wasted even more times researching plastic surgery and cosmetic treatments. In these ways, 외모정병 has harmed me physically, mentally, financially, and even stolen my precious time. But I no longer let this 외모정병 drive me insane. Now, I work out and eat balanced meal for my health. I love myself as I am without makeup. I don't count the days until the next Olive Young sale. And I don't care about cosmetic procedure anymore. Actually, freeing myself from 외모정병 wasn't easy or natural. For 2 years, I lived without Instagram because it was the biggest trigger of my 외모정병. I even unsubscribed from every makeup YouTube channel I once loved and I reset my entire algorithm. I reduced how often I wear makeup and step by step, I started feeling confident in my bare face again. All these efforts allow me to redirect my energy, attention, money, time I used to spend on my appearance into other parts of my life. Last semester, I did boxing. This semester, I'm doing Pilates. And yeah, as a result, overall quality of my life has improved. And I feel healthier both in body and mind. It doesn't mean I've quit makeup. Well, actually, I still really love makeup. But I just do it when I truly want to. And when I do it, I really enjoy it. Anymore, I don't wear makeup because I hate my bare face or feel obligated to. And also, I don't care about what suits me anymore. Now I focus on what I like. Even after all this growth and change, well, still, 외모장병 still tries to sneak back into my life. And when it does, I remind myself of one simple truth. If you feel the same way, I hope you will remember it. And this is: we are strong, we are smart, we are beautiful. We'll never, ever let this foolish slang define us. Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. Are you ready for something a little louder than the last one? Yeah. My name is Seojin Jang, and before I start, can you guess what I'm obsessed with? No, it's not K-pop. Thank you. It's about rock. Yeah. And the story I'm about to share, for some of you, it might be fun. And for some of you, it might even help you to discover a new hobby. Today, I want to talk about myself and about what women who rock truly love. It's bands and rock music. So the purpose of my presentation today is not to deliver a perfect speech. My real goal is I want at least one person in this room to become interested in bands. As Seong-on mentioned earlier, people often think that women in their 20s are only interested in K-pop's idol faces and perfect bodies. They are often held up as society's standard of beauty, or easy music, cute dances, aegyo, handsome faces, toned bodies. Whether they sing perfectly or not, it doesn't really matter. But that's not the whole story. Sometimes we get more excited about lyrics that are realistic, even despairing, yet deeply relatable. And more than polished and perfect performances on stage, we love the raw energy, the shouting, moving our bodies, head bangings, even the wildness that sometimes break things. And that's exactly the world of bands that I fell in love with. So from here, I want to talk about something many people don't know much about, the Korean band culture, a word that can feel a little minor, even unfamiliar. Fan sing-along, slams, underground live venues, and our own unique band slang. It's a whole other side of Korean music, completely different from K-pop. Before I begin, let me explain the word written in my title, ranglini. You can see in your glossary too. This comes from a Korean band slang combining rock and child, and it basically means a beginner who's just starting to explore rock music. So today, you will all be ranglini, and I'll be the 락자랄, the one who knows rock music a bit more. And let me show you why band music has to become a part of my life. Just like many of you, I also started out as a complete rock beginner, a real ranglini. Back in my high school, whenever I felt overwhelmed by academic stress, I relied on the loud and energetic sound of rock music. That was my escape. As time passed, I started going to concerts, attending festivals, and even bought my first guitar. And through all these experiences, I discovered things that made me fall in love with band culture. Let me share a few of them with you. The first one is Daechang culture. I'm gonna show a video. What is Daechang? This is my favorite part of Korean band culture, Daechang, the sing-along culture. In moments like this, the boundary between the band and the audience disappears. It's not just a performance anymore, it becomes a shared experience. And many international bands say that this daechang moment is their favorite part of performing in Korea. And of course, there's a small debate about it. Some people argue, we came to hear the singers, so why are the fans singing so loudly? But personally, I love this culture because it's about enjoying the music together. What about you guys? Which one do you prefer? Daechang or just listening? Daechang. Thank you. And like this, next one is the slam culture. It is one of the iconic parts of rock culture. It's basically a form of energetic dancing where people jump and bump into each other to the beat. There are unwritten rules. Leave the center open and follow the signal from the fans who know the song well, and then everyone rushes in together. To help with understanding, I bring a video. Center open and the signal. Sometimes this might look like people fighting, but they are not. When I first went to a festival, I was honestly terrified. But after experiencing once, I completely fell in love with this culture. Now, whenever I go to a festival, I look for this slam zone. And there's some debate too. When people jump in at the wrong timing or ignore the rhythm, they sometimes get lightly judged. That's the part of the fun. And the next one is live performance. The biggest strength of band is their live performances. K-pop, which is one of the Korea's most famous cultural exports, is known for its perfectly planned and produced stages. But band performances are a little bit different. They are spontaneous, emotional, and truly live. The musicians write their own songs, play their instruments, and connect with the audience in real time. This is a video I took when band Muse came to Korea for a concert. They communicate with their fans like this. One thing I personally love is how unexpected moments sometimes create legendary performances. Those moments often turn into unforgettable highlights. And sometimes famous singers get so excited that they smash their guitars like this. I guess they can do that because they're very, very rich rock star. I want to try someday too. And now I want to introduce one of Korea's most iconic rock bands, is Seojin. The band is centered around Hwang So-yoon, the vocalist and guitarist. Interestingly, she personally recruits band members through Instagram, reaching out directly to find people to join her band. Her guitar playing and unique, almost androgynous voice make her performance incredible. And this is my favorite her performance. Yeah, for me, She's my role model, and watching her perform inspired me to buy my own guitar and start my own band and truly commit to being a rock star myself. And honestly, when I perform, I sometimes try to imitate her hairstyle, fashion style, or even her singing style. And the reason I dyed my hair, honestly, it's because of her. And so, do you think I kind of look like her? Uh, this picture is Soyun Hwang, and this is me, and this is Soyun Hwang, and this is me. Oh, no difference? Thank you. Yeah, like this. As you can see, I started out as Langlini, who went to just watch concerts, and now I'm actually on stage performing as a rock star myself. I entered university and joined the one and only official rock band at Seoul Women's University, SEL. Back in my freshman year, during the Welcome Festival, I saw the club performances for the first time. And watching the seniors on stage that day, I decided I have to join this band. At that time, I couldn't play any instrument. The only thing I had was just a loud voice like this. So I auditioned for the vocal session, went through 2 rounds, passed, and become the 21st vocalist of Cell. And what's funny is that most of the members who joined with me were also Langlini. None of us knew how to play our instrument properly, but everyone had the same thought. I don't know how, but I really wanted to be in a band. So let's just try. And that's how the current Cell was born. Of course, there were some challenges too. When I told my parents this, I was joining the rock band, school rock band, and they congratulated me, but then jokingly said, "When are you going to study? Going to become a dantara?" Here, dantara is a Korean slang word that slightly belittles musicians. In Korea, people who make music or join bands are not always looked positively because it's often seen as not a real way to make money. K-pop or famous bands are exceptions, but generally, pursuing music professionally is considered risky or unstable. Also, when I told my dad I was joining a rock band, not just any band, he said, "A girl doing rock? Seriously?" And even my friends who were not into rock would say things like rebellion, freak, or so noisy. There's still negative public image of rock music that hasn't gone away. So I started doubting myself. I asked, am I really allowed to do this? But then I thought, this is once in a life opportunity. Later in life, money can't buy this kind of experience, and I might never feel this passionate again. So I decided for my 2 years of my university life, I would give my all to this band. And after making that decision, I really gave it my all. This is my rehearsal schedule. As you can see, the moment my class ends, I go straight to rehearsal. We practice for hours, then I head home late at night. We basically rehearse almost every day, and there's a small TMI. Most of my classmates and teammates live near campus, but I commute almost 1 hour and 30 minutes each way. So when rehearsal ends and I finally get home, it's always past midnight. But I think this is the real rockstar life. So because and also I really love it so much, so I can enjoy it. And this is our rehearsal video. It is a little bit loud, it's noisy. The blonde hair is me, and they are our teammates. Yeah, this is our practice room in our campus, what we call the 동방, short for club room. And all the amps, speakers, and instruments inside were researched and purchased by our club. And if you're even slightly interested in instruments or band music, I want to recommend 낙원 악기상가 in 종로. It's a giant building full of every instrument and audio gear you could imagine. And when I first went there, I found an electric guitar that was totally my style, and I bought it on impulse for over 300,000 won. But before I even knew how to play the guitar, a lot of band beginners start exactly like that. After all this comes the real work, preparing for a stage. And the process is honestly fascinating. Most university band performances take place in Hongdae live clubs. Usually, bands rent these venues, but since the rental fees are expensive, university bands personally contact other bands to perform together and split the cost. Through this, we also build friendships, networkings, and a strong bond among bands. Another interesting part is our rehearsal routine. Whenever we have a show, we rent a practice studio in Hongdae. Because Hongdae has so many live clubs, the practice rooms there are super well maintained. It's about 10,000 to 20,000 won per hour. Practicing in this space really helps us raise the quality of our performance. And alright, now I'll show you the actual performances scene. I will introduce two of the most memorable gigs. The first one is our summer festival. This was the biggest stage we performed on this year. We performed last in the club show on the main stage and at the best time slot. The largest crowd came together to enjoy our performance. And the moment that moved me the most was during the final song. The audience turned on their lights and waved them. I'll never forget that scene. The last song we played was Letter by Yudabin Band, and that day Yudabin Band was our festival guest. They found out that we covered their song, and they gave our band a shout out on stage. It was such an honor and one of our proudest moments.
팀 이름 좀 알려주세요. 셀. 아까 진행자분들께서 말씀하셨던 재밌었다는 무대 셀. 샤라우트 셀. 고맙습니다.
And this video was uploaded to our club's Instagram too. And next one is Women's University Rock Band Union. This is an annual event held by every summer and winter by 6 women's universities, Seoul Women Universities, 이화, 성신, 숙명, 덕성, 동덕. It's a huge gathering of women who love rock and band culture, performing together, celebrating together, and connecting with each other. The sense of solidarity is incredibly powerful. Every year, around 300 to 400 tickets sell out completely. Let me play a short clip from one of our performances, and it might be loud, exactly rock. It's embarrassing, but this is me. And do you remember the Daechang culture I mentioned earlier? Yeah. This Daechang culture is not something you can only see at concerts by famous artists. You can see in here. In fact, both our band and bands from other bands practiced intensely for 3 months just for this one performance. Some people even took a semester off because balancing academics and band life became too tough. Honestly, it sounds crazy, but yeah, we are kind of crazy. We are crazy in love with rock. And I once asked the audience, why do you come to see us? We are not professionals. And they said, you're playing the rock we love. Of course, we are here. It's so fun, so cool. I'm here to go crazy. Yeah, they come for the passion, the energy, the atmosphere, and the joy of experiencing music together, not perfect professional band. And that's exactly how I feel too. As a performer, I feel alive on stage, and as an audience member, I go crazy cheering for other bands. Rock and band music are no longer just hobbies, they have become my energy, motivation, and a real goal that moves me forward. And this isn't just true for me, it's the same for everyone who loves rock. And this performance I did got really popular. Yeah, I really love this Women's University Rock Band Union concert. And I know this kind of band culture might feel unfamiliar to many people. Some might think it's too minor or too different, but for us, it's becoming a really important word. And women's university rock bands are even more special. Because in this space, we can be our most real selves and honestly, our coolest selves. In everyday life, I'm just a simple and nerdy student, and many band members are actually pretty introverted. But once we step on stage, everything changes. When the lights turn on and the music starts, we become powerful in a way that even surprises us. That's why band culture is more than just a hobby for women in their 20s. For us, band culture symbolizes freedom, love, identify, and youth. Looking back, it still feels unreal that the girl who once just loved rock from afar is now living this kind of life. But honestly, even in this dreamlike routine, I still don't know what my future will. I don't know if I'll be able to keep doing band forever or if I crash into the world of reality. But there's one thing I'm absolutely sure of. Right now, in this moment, the thing I love the most is rock, and the thing that sets my heart on fire is band. Doing band has cost me a lot money, time, energy. There were days I fell behind in classes and felt scared. There were moments I almost gave up. But strangely, the second the lights hit the stage and the drum counts begin, every worry disappears. In those few minutes on stage, I can feel myself alive. My passion, my energy, my courage, everything is there. This is the kind of youth I want to talk about today. So, what do you think? Am I doing okay? Am I living well? Thank you. I don't know the right answer either, but one thing is clear. I am doing what I love and what I truly want to do right now. So if someone asks me, what is rock to you? Then I'll say it proudly. Rock is the proof of my youth. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Surin Kim. I will be the third and final speaker this evening. So far, you've heard about the appearance obsession and rock bands, and now I would like to turn our attention to love. And please get ready for some TMI because I'll be sharing some of my own experiences. Our media is full of perfect love stories like K-dramas, but the reality isn't like that. It's messy and imperfect, complicated, also filled with lots of emotions that are hard to define. And these blurry, undefined spaces of emotion, that's where I will start my talk. Human relationships are more delicate and nuanced than we often realize, and many phases are difficult to label. Depending on the culture, there may or may not be specific words to describe certain phases in a relationship. In Korea, there is a particularly interesting stage that doesn't translate directly into English. It's called sum. This stage refers to that very subtle period when two people begin to start feel mutual interest or anticipation toward each other right before officially becoming a couple. It signifies the stage of definite interest right before the start of relationship. Some people try to explain it as a situationship, but I personally think these two concepts are completely different. A situationship is a space where people behave as if they're dating while avoiding any clear commitments or agreements about the future. To me, it feels more like the destination for those who avoid the responsibilities of a traditional relationship. But some isn't like that. It's a process leading to a destination, which is dating. Of course, during this stage, people feel like, oh, we're not compatible or disappointed, but it's called sambung, which is portmanteau of sum and the word for collapse, 붕괴. It literally means collapse of sum. And I've experienced it quite a few times. Now I'm going to share the most recent one. Last year, I lived in Germany for about a year as an exchange student. Shortly after I arrived, I used to study in the library often. One day, while I was studying as usual, a guy approached me and left a note. On it was a very predictable line like, I'm interested in you, blah, 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 with his phone number. Since I was still adjusting to life in Germany, and I thought that even if it didn't lead to dating, he could become a good German friend. So I texted him. Oh, and using the one of the slang word Seong-on said before, he was kind of 존잘, fucking handsome. So I texted him. And since it was exam season, so we kept going to the library together. We're practically library buddies. At the time, I thought we're in the sum phase, but perhaps he didn't think so since he wouldn't have known what sum even was. However, through another friend, I heard something that made my feeling fade very quickly. Apparently, he was talking to another person as well. I don't know if it was another sum, but personally, I don't think some should happen with multiple people at the same time. So this is actually a heated debate in Korea, but since I strongly believe in focusing on just one person, so my disappointment grew and my interest disappeared. So I decided to stop contacting him, and I chose to end the sum, which meant sambu. After that, I didn't want to see anyone for a while. I wanted to focus on traveling, and I didn't have the emotional energy to invest in someone. Then one day, I had an unexpected encounter at my dorm's Heimba. It's a small bar that opens weekly for students. I met a guy there and we became friends. He later said he was interested in me from the very beginning, though. In Korea, we have a word for people who prefer relationships that develop naturally, 자만추. This stands for 자연스러운 만남 추구, which means preferring natural encounters. It refers to meeting someone casually in daily life. The opposite is 인만추, 인위적인 만남 추구, meaning seeking artificial encounters such as dating apps or blind dates. I've always been the 자만추, so meeting him this way felt just right. From now on, I will call this guy S. And S and I naturally got to know each other and grew closer. We didn't define anything, but we were essentially a couple. In the beginning, I thought we were simply in a some phase, while he seemed to think we're in a kind of situationship, though maybe one that leaned toward like becoming a relationship. Even now, I'm not sure like how to define what he felt. Either way, I was constantly confused and kept wondering, like we talk about liking each other and act like we're together, so why don't we officially agree to date? Despite this confusion, our feelings for each other like continue to grow. But international couples often face unexpected challenges. Before we became close, we even argued only over small misunderstandings. Because we communicated in English, which was neither of our native languages, it was easy to misinterpret small nuances, and we were sometimes sensitive due to cultural differences. Once, he told me he was irritated by me, like out of nowhere. So I was shocked at first. But later he explained that in German, the word irritieren doesn't carry such a strong negative connotation. And I think these misunderstandings were amplified over text, which is a critical disadvantage for long-distance couples. But at least I will never forget the word. In February, S moved to Munich for his master's program. And even while I was still in Germany, we became somewhat long distance. Surprisingly, it didn't bother us much because exchange students have a lot of free time. So we enjoyed countless happy moments together, like lying down for a nap at the English garden, or watching people swim, or walking around the old castle. S was someone who didn't even know what kimchi was, but I can't live without Korean food, so we ended up eating it every few days, like 양념치킨, 김밥, 잡채, 떡볶이, 김치찌개. Now he's a tteokbokki lover. Like many couples, we sometimes played Would You Rather or What If games. S would always ask a million questions like, would you still like me if I were like this or like that? But once I even asked him about a famous Korean debate, 깻잎 논쟁. The side dish you see on the screen, it's 깻잎 장아찌, and they tend to stick together tightly, making them difficult to separate. The question is, if your friend is trying to eat this 깻잎, is it okay for your partner to help him or her pick one up? I know it sounds silly, but opinions in Korea are very, very divided. Personally, I think it's perfectly fine, but I didn't understand the dish at all, so I gave up to try to get an answer. In this way, I taught him a lot about Korean culture, and he taught me a German. I would say this was like one of the key advantages of being in an international relationship. But at the same time, reality became harder to ignore. I was the one who had to leave. S had already told me he was not someone who could handle long-distance relationship. After hearing that, I couldn't ask deeper questions about our relationship. Maybe I avoided it on purpose. Since we're already acting like a couple, so I didn't want to make things awkward right before my departure. After I returned to Korea, not much changed. We simply added a 7-hour time difference to our routine. Because S was curious about what my life in Korea looked like, I shared almost everything with him. My name dominated his whole history, and everything felt okay. But naturally, as distance grows, my emotional closeness starts to fade. Not in a dramatic way, but slowly. Even so, I held on by imagining the next possible time we could meet. Then imagine this. You say goodnight and fall asleep like any other day. And when you wake up, you see the message from 4 a.m. That's what happened to me. This is a message I really actually received. At first, he said he was struggling with our situation. So I asked if it was because of the distance. And then he sent me a message like this. In that moment, I threw out the question I had been holding back. What were we? And he replied, I don't know, but obviously we're not just normal friends. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I realized exactly why we had never defined our relationship. Leaving things undefined offers an easy escape route. In today's world, people not only seek personal freedom, but also accept the risks that come with it. I think concepts like some or situationships emerged from this atmosphere. In a world where even love has become a risk, these undefined stages offer a kind of protection. We feel anxiety because the relationship is undefined, yet we feel relief because it prevents the future risks. This contradiction keeps these new forms of relationships alive. In our case, it wasn't a typical situationship, but it's more like a relationship with an expiration date. He was simply engaging in modern dating, and I was looking for more like analog, old-fashioned love. And our timing and situation also simply didn't work in our favor. Eventually, we couldn't overcome the distance and our relationship ended. But I learned a lot from the experiences. It helped me understand some unique aspects of Korean dating culture as well. For example, in Korea, the frequency of texting often acts as a measure of affection. If someone replies slowly, people assume their feelings have cooled. Of course, there are exceptions, and I'm one of them. Even as and other friends have often told me that I'm a slow texter. Still, Koreans tend to share and highly value daily messaging or calling. Korea society is also still somewhat conservative. Public displays of affection are not always welcomed. It's improved compared to the past, but many people still feel uncomfortable with PDA. 동거, which means a Korean term for cohabitation, is similar. Like many Korean parents would strongly oppose 동거 unless the couple is about to get married. Even dormitories separate students by gender. Although this is changing, the perception is still there. Today, dating is no longer a necessity, but a choice. Since we already have so much to deal with in modern life, people prefer investing their limited energy into things they can control, like self-improvement or rest, rather than into relationship that feel unpredictable. We are becoming increasingly efficient, like calculating inner and outer qualities and conditions to find a right match. It's a form of selection and focus, but maybe it moves us further away from what we call 낭만, which is romance. As a result, people develop more specific and detailed preferences to avoid wasting time. Someone might prefer a person who opens the car door first, or someone who enjoys watching documentary on weekends, like rather than simply a kind person. And even physical preferences have become very specific, like someone with no double eyelids or someone with pretty hands. On the other hand, red flags have also become more diverse. Sometimes what someone doesn't have or doesn't do become more important than what they do. Green flags shows potential of like healthy relationship, but red flags signal potential harm or emotional cost. So people fear red flags more than they value green flags. In Korean, a red flag is often called 믿고 거른다. Though not a literal translation, it means automatic note and represent a sign that people instantly disregard. So, for example, people say things like, "Oh, if he's rude to the server, that's a 믿고 for me." When I ask my friends about their biggest 믿고 criteria, one of the most interesting answers was the crude slang term 여미새. This is short for, 여자에게 미친 새끼. And it means a person who is obsessed with women or woman crazy jerk. The inverse term is 남미새, also short for 남자에게 미친 새끼, meaning a person who is obsessed with men. Recently, another term has appeared, the Hongdae guy. This refers to certain Korean men who hit on foreign women, only foreign women in the Hongdae area. Seojin said earlier that Hongdae is a hotspot for artists, but it's also a hotspot for Hongdae guys. So let me show the video first.
Excuse me, do you know where the bus stop is?
버스 정류장? 저쪽으로 쭉 가시면 돼요.
This way?
네네.
네, thank you, 감사합니다.
네. Excuse
Oh
me.
my god.
You lost?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a bus stop.
버스 정류장. Don't worry. I take you.
Oh, thank you. Wait, isn't that way Hongdae?
Only if you're open mind.
Yeah. As you just saw, they often ask questions in awkward English, like, are you open-minded or do you live alone? Like, you might think open-minded is a positive term, but here it carries a rude intent, like essentially aiming for one-night stand. You could say this is another type of 여미새. So honestly, it's fascinating how many new forms of 믿고 are popping up. These days, it seems like our society is saturated with like negative trends like misogyny, misandry, and the rise of non-marriage and anti-dating movements. All of this makes it seem as if we are avoiding love and relationship altogether. But what statistics and trends can tell us is that love is a world of variables, something you can never calculate like a formula. No matter how much non-dating becomes a major trend, countless young people still laugh and cry because of love. Sometimes we act recklessly, sometimes we become incredibly sensitive. Christmas is just around the corner, and as you will see, the streets of Korea will be bustling with couples, and hotels and restaurants will be fully booked. Maybe I'll be one of them too. The excitement, the heartbreak, and becoming more honest and stronger through it all I think this entire process is a privilege we get to call youth. Today, the three of us seem to have shared completely different stories from completely different perspectives, but in fact, we all ask the same burning questions under the name of youth. Should we just chase what we want? We ask if we're hesitating or lacking confidence, caught up in other standards about appearance, the idea of wasting time on hobbies instead of studying, or the fear of being hurt or rejected by someone. But today, we confidently declare we will do what we want because youth isn't a path with fixed answer. Thank you so much for listening out to us today. And also, it wasn't just three of us. Our whole team worked really hard to make this happen. And we're very, very, very grateful for Professor David's guidance. Thank you once again for your attention.